Why is he nervous?
I don't know. He's got a poop all of a sudden.
He's got the nervous poops.
Mm-hmm.
The worst.
Yeah,
Those are the worst.
The anxiety poop. Yeah, like, oh man. Oh, okay. That's perfect. That's how we're gonna start off with a live stream. Is me talking about anxiety.
I have anxiety poops. I start a new project tomorrow.
That's gonna be exciting.
I
Okay.
guess.
You're a project manager. You can handle it.
I can handle it. I got it. Somebody thinks I have it. Anyhow, that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. If they're willing to pay you to do it.
That's right.
Why are you in the truck?
So I am at my whiskey sponsored distillery because they're having a special event tonight.
Oh.
And it's from 4 to 8. So I told them at 6 whatever I was gonna go sit in my truck for an hour and be weird.
How much whiskey have you had from?
I actually had a vodka cocktail and then I had a beer, but I'll definitely this.
Matt, was that you on the live feed?
Yes.
Okay. What up, Elam? Hey, dude. So Elam sent a Instagram
Jeep flipping over
an Instagram
on the
video
beach.
of why you shouldn't get your Jeep wet.
And that person comes flying out the top. That's pretty good.
That was amazing. Yeah. That was amazing. All right, you done, Jose? You good?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, you guys ready? We're ready to go. All right, Kevin.
Yes.
Same deal. I'll count down 3, 2, 1. We'll go silent for about 10 seconds. At the end of it, we'll say thanks a lot. Have a good night, but don't hang up.
Cool.
All right, 3, 2, 1. All right, everybody, it's 6:30 Monday night, and coming to us from a whiskey distillery in the front of his truck is the one and only Ultra 4 Jones. Kevin Jones, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Good. Thank you for
Good.
making time to join us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime for you guys.
Fucking A.
Dude, we just started.
Wow.
We just started.
Right out the
It's a special
gate.
occasion. I gotta
Is
go
that
hard.
is that because Kevin stole your thunder at the
Yeah,
last time? You had
yeah.
to make sure
I had
he
to
knew.
make sure.
I think Jose just marked his territory right there. Like, this is mine.
I was going to try and beat him to it. I can't do that.
Oh, how funny. So, Kevin, for those of you that don't know, go follow him on at Ultra4Jones on Instagram. Kevin has been on a whirlwind of a ride. We talked to him at our winter expedition. He joined us in Parker, Arizona in early December. And from there, went to King of the Hammers, and there's a whole story behind that. So let's go back to the last time we talked to you at the tailgate at the campsite in Arizona. At that point, we were asking you how you were ever going to get all that stuff done to get the car ready. And so tell me about it. How did you get the car? What did you have to do? And how did you get the car ready between December and February?
You just don't sleep. It's that easy. No, it's I mean, I don't know if I'd said it then, but for me that kind of trigger point is always paying the registration fees. And then as soon as I do that, it's just on. I mean, that's just all there is to it. So every night that I'm home, I just work in the garage until I'm delirious and then go to bed and get
Yeah,
up and do it all.
if you follow his stories during that time frame,
Yeah.
he's like, all right, guys, it's 1 a.m.
Yeah, 2 o'clock in the morning.
And then he keeps going. Putting the camera on the timer. It's 20 days, and then the next one's 4 days. It's like, dude.
So you got I know that it was last minute. You were getting parts in and bolting parts on, and when did you get actually on the road to come down?
I think Hammertown officially opened the 28th well, I take that back. So I think they open it earlier, but the only date I care about is when they release the race course.
Yeah.
And they were going to release the race course at noon on the 28th. So my goal was to get there the 27th at any hour of the day or night. And I think we got there the 27th about midday, maybe early afternoon.
When you
like that.
when you say we, who all went with you?
So that day, the arrival is I towed the race car with my truck. My dad towed my travel trailer with his truck. And then my crew chief, Seth, towed his own travel trailer with his truck. And then we all just met out there because we had different errands we had to run along the day.
Did the girls go with you?
No, so I went for 11 days, and it's just too much to ask of them. So
Yeah.
they come out the night before my race.
Okay.
And stay 2 nights and then go home.
Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, I don't know that I could convince Tammy and Presley
Yeah,
to camp in the
11
desert for
days.
11 days.
Yeah. It's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
I think in 11 days I took 2 showers.
Yeah, that sounds pretty awesome. I'm down with that. So you get down there on the 27th, and that is 5 days, 6 days before actual race.
I don't know, honestly. They go by, so it's so crazy because I wait all year for King of the Hammers, and it feels like eternity. And then as soon as that countdown starts and I'm thrashing on the car, every day just feels like a minute, and they just go by so fast. And you get on the lake bed, and every day you think like, oh, I'll have time. I'll go do this. I'll go do that. Every day you don't have time to even do what you have to do.
Yeah.
So it's a whirlwind for sure.
So it's
I mean,
9
there's
days. If you got there Wednesday the 27th, you raced on Friday the 5th. So you had 9 days.
That sounds good. Yeah. And then we stayed another 2 days after that.
Okay.
So that'd be 11. Yeah, that makes sense.
When did you? So you got there on that Wednesday. When did you get to start pre-running the course?
So we got camp set up the 27th, the 28th. We just started the logistical stuff of kind of, getting everything from, the air pressure in the tires to fuel in the tank. The co-driver goes over he showed up late that night of the 27th. He's responsible for going over and getting the course downloaded on a SD card and putting that on the low ramps. And so, just getting all those little pieces of the puzzle together so that you can get in the car at, 1 p.m. and start pre-running.
When you guys are setting up in your camp, are you guys inside like the pit area, or are you just out on the lake bed with the masses?
We're straight up in Thunderdome, Matt.
Oh.
No. Nice. So you're right there kicking it with Mel Gibson and Tina Turner.
Yeah.
Front row.
We got the leather.
Nice.
We got the leather and the spikes and the flamethrowers, and
And then you put all those back. You put all those away when the girls show up.
yeah. Yeah, no, I like to buy the I've camped inside and out of the chain link, and honestly, while racing, I think it's super beneficial to be inside the chain link because all your fellow racers or neighbors, they're so helpful when you need tools or advice or whatever, and it's really helpful to be close to the vendors and all the staff and stuff like that. So even though it costs a couple extra dollars and there's a couple confines that come with it, I really like being in the Hammertown.
All right. So you get there 27th, 28th. You can actually do you guys literally go out onto the course the next day, the 28th?
Yeah. So we jumped in the car. I think by the time we were in the car, it was probably 1 or 2 p.m. and we made it a whopping 2 miles before we got lost.
How could you do that, dude? It's so easy to not get lost. I don't
Just follow the
understand.
blue line,
Yeah, just
dude.
follow the blue line, dude. You want me to come out there and show you how to do it?
Yeah. You'd fit right in with all the U-turns we had to make. We thank God though it happened because as soon as we got lost, they came to a stop just to let the co-driver kind of get the GPS right side up. And as soon as I did, I had smoke coming from underneath the steering column dash area. So I shut the car off and we started investigating all that.
What was it?
Turns out that my kick-ass new power steering pump was kicking too much ass, and it was boiling the fluid.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, I just reached under and touched the orbital, which is like the hydraulic control valve behind the steering wheel, and it was several hundred degrees. I mean, it was instantly way too hot.
Yeah, if someone reaches under and touches my orbital, they're gonna find it's pretty hot too.
Yeah.
That's usually around the campfire when when orbitals start smoking because of high fluid temps.
It's a super dumb question, but can you strap on an external cooler
Oh, no.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
This is getting
Can
really
you-
dark there.
could you put like like aluminum cooling fins and connect those to the power steering ram to help dissipate heat?
Just put the E on this episode. Right from the gate.
I'm talking
Jose
about
Stone
ramming power
F-bombs.
steering. That's it.
Ramrods and orbital, whatever. It's getting hot.
Yeah.
Crazy already.
If you need some advice with strap-ons, I'm gonna have.
Perry says, "Well, that escalated quickly." Okay, so we'll talk later about how to dissipate heat from a thermonuclear perspective. So was it catastrophic? Did you have to rebuild or what?
No, I mean that's why I say like luckily we'd only gone 2 miles, so I don't think we'd done any real damage. So we obviously let it cool down, went back, and then spent the majority of that night trying to figure out why it was getting so hot, and come to find out that pump is essentially made in 3 different flow rates. And PSC had given me the highest flow rate in an attempt to give me the best power steering, but that just didn't match the rest of my components. So,
Yeah, or like the hose is not the big enough diameter, or
yeah, I mean, the rest.
Hey,
of my
that's
system,
look. It doesn't really matter how big the hose is.
obviously it does in this case.
Yeah. So we ended up swapping that pump out for kind of a middle flow, and that worked out really well. But in the process, we lost a day. We lost a day of pre-running. So that was the unfortunate part about that.
Hey, is it always like a toss, like a risk? I mean, there's always a risk associated with pre-running, right? Because like you can break the car, right?
Well, that's
Yeah.
why you have to have a pre-run car and a
Well-
race car. And I told him he could use the Ranger for pre-run, and
Well,
he didn't
wanted
let
to
me know.
finish the course.
So you actually touch on a really good point, Jose. The racers that I all talk to, everyone is very, very divided on how much you actually use your race car before the race. I fall into there's 2 schools of thought. One is you don't use it at all, you save it, you want it as fresh as can be, and you just take the green flag with it and use like a UTV or something else to do all your pre-running. The other school of thought is that the only way your race car is any good is if it's proven, and the way to prove it is pre-run with it. And I definitely fall into that category for a couple reasons. One, because I truly believe in. I mean, we just talked about like my
Yeah.
car's apart and it barely gets assembled for the race. So to have any confidence that bolts are tight and power steering pumps work and stuff like that, I've got to put miles on it.
Yeah.
The other reason is I don't have the money to have anything else to pre-run in. I don't have a UTV or anything else that's capable of covering the race miles. So
What about
we're
the
kind of
what about the Ford?
I'm pretty
That-
sure. I've seen you drive that F-250. I'm pretty sure you could have pre-run 80% of the race in the F-250.
Yeah.
He could have competed in the
Yeah,
F250.
for sure.
Oh man, I want to so bad. Yeah, no, I mean we could, but for that same reason, I need to prove to myself and the team that the race car is in good shape. And we ended up pre-running, I think, a total of 3 days, and every single day we pre-ran, we found tiny problems with the car. And it's just so nice to be able to either like take it back to camp and fix them, or stop right there on the trail and fix them, and not be under that stress of fixing it on race day. I mean, we had, I can't even think of everything, but we had a couple of wiring issues that involved like a fuel pump relay dying. we had a couple little things. The power steering obviously was kind of a big thing, but yeah.
How about the AC? Was the AC working good?
Yeah. Oh, that.
Okay,
You
good.
know what? It's funny you say that, Matt. So we have what's called a helmet pumper, right? That filters air.
Sorry.
Come on, Matt.
What? I didn't say anything.
It,
Go on about the helmet pumper.
So we have a helmet pumper that pumps air, clean air
Nice.
helmets, just to keep them from fogging up, and so you don't just eat dust all day. And actually, our last day of pre-running, I think that was the last like failure we had, was our pumper just completely died. So had to go over to Rugged Radios and get a new one. But
Didn't know you could just pick up a pumper on this at Thunderdome like
oh
that.
yeah,
It's Hammertown, dude.
You can probably
a lot of,
but
pumpers.
if you pick up a pumper at
There's a lot of
Hammertown,
helmet
you're
pumpers,
taking something home with you. That's what I'm saying.
pumpers,
yeah.
pumpers, and pumpers.
You get the pumper, and then you just strap it on.
Yeah, for sure.
That's it.
Oh,
it.
we are 12 years old, and I love it.
Yep.
So, anything else exciting happen on pre-run?
This was my very first time that I was going to qualify at an Ultra 4 race. My third Ultra 4 race, and my first time that I was actually going to get to qualify. So what that means is I get to race no matter what, but based on how fast you can run the 1.2 mile qualifying course is what starting position you get. And so we practiced it Friday, whatever day that was. And then we went to a driver's meeting, and they said, hey, by the way, a lot of you have been practicing outside of the boundary, so you might want to go take a look at it again. So we pre-ran all day Monday, and then when we got back to Hammertown, I was like, hey, we're already suited up, we're already in the race car, why don't we just go out there and make sure that they didn't take our line away from us? And so we went out there just to see where the new boundaries were. We made a line on the pass on the qualifying course in the dark, and there were a bunch of guys out there doing the same thing. And we made it no problem up the rock obstacle, but it just wasn't real clean. It just didn't feel that great. So I was like, let's do it one more time, see if we can get that line cleaned up. And of course, that one more time was that was it. So there's two rock faces, and on the second rock face, I just got complacent. I mean, it's 100% my fault, and I didn't get the car absolutely squared up before I went up that rock face, and the front end slid passenger, and I couldn't bring it back around, and over we went. So we ended up rolling 3/4 of a roll to the passenger side off the mountain.
How bad was it? How much did you have? How much work did that create for you?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't worried about getting hurt. I was really, really just instantaneously saddened or disappointed that I might have ruined the entire effort for myself, for my sponsors, for my co-driver, for my pit crew. I just instantly felt a ton of guilt that I might have broken the car to the point where we were done before we even started the race. So we were very, very fortunate that we suffered a little bit of roll cage damage. We broke the passenger mirror off. We broke the antenna off the roof, and that was it. So it was we got really lucky.
Yeah, it could have been way worse.
Could have been way worse. Yeah, I thought the car, I thought we would have bent or broken something major, screwed up an axle, something. Because I mean, while you're rolling down the hill and crashing into rocks, every impact sounds like something breaking. So, yeah, but we got lucky.
And but you were able to go through the car again and make all those repairs before the race.
Yeah, the plan was to just do that quick little run, and then that night, that was Monday night of what they do, the shootout, which is usually a really good time. It's a really good party. So we were gonna park the race car and then go check out the shootout. But as soon as that happened, we got the car back into the pit tent, and nobody said anything, but I just kind of broke the silence by saying, I'm not going to the shootout. I'm staying right here and I'm working on the car. And I think everybody completely understood the mood I was in. And so nobody even said a word, and we all just got started, and we just took the car apart and jacked it up and put it up on jack stands and just started checking everything we possibly could just to make sure nothing was broken.
And
So, well, what did you break after that?
Yeah, it ended up, like I was saying, we dented the roll cage a little bit and then broke a passenger mirror off and the antenna, and that was it. So, but we took all the panels off the car. We took all the skid plates off. We put it up on jack stands and ran it in gear to make sure we didn't bend any wheels or axles.
Yeah, that would be the scary part. Is if it just looked like cosmetic damage, you went, oh, it's fine, and you get halfway out and find that there was a fracture, a crack in one of the welds, or something was tweaked, and you know what I mean. So it's almost like you have to do a whole inspection all over again.
Yeah.
There's JB Weld for those cracks if you find some cracks. And then it sounded like he could have just ran to the Pet Boys accessory aisle, some mirrors and antennas, and then grab yourself
and those
some
little
curb
chrome
feelers.
vents, those little chrome vents.
Yeah.
And then that silver trim that you put around every door and every panel.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. You got to get doors just so you can put those on your race car.
Dude, we should try to get Pet Boys to sponsor you next year, and we'll just do the whole thing in that silver trim.
To see how much crap out of that one singular aisle we can stick on the car.
Yeah. That's the best.
That's the whole aisle.
That's my favorite. With the air fresheners dangling
with a big
off.
Manny Moe and Jack.
Yeah. So let's talk about tires. So after we had a conversation at Winter Expedition, and you were still working on some tire stuff, and my understanding is you found a tire sponsor.
Yeah. Thank you, Trail Chasers, very much for suggesting I look into Nexen tires.
Well, I mean, after you saw what the Ranger did in Arizona, right? You were like, dude, look at that Ranger. And if that Ranger can do that on those tires, I'm taking them to King of Hammers.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to admit it, but I had a hard time keeping up. And I thought,
liar,
all right, dude.
liar.
You're on the show already, all right? Relax.
No, it was cool. I ended up, thanks to you guys, talking to Nexen, and turned out there was a really good opportunity there for me to try out the Rodian MTX. So the stressful part was I already had a completely full plate, and now I had to add a new, variable or dynamic to my race program. So I won't lie, and I tell everybody this. I was really hesitant to make a change to a major component that close to KOH.
Oh yeah, I mean you've done all your testing up to this point on a specific set of tires. You know what to expect. I can imagine that's a hard decision to make.
Yeah, I definitely lost a lot of sleep leading up to that, but I mean, as soon as we had pre-ran one day, I knew that we were going to be just fine. And by the time we pre-ran 3 days and did qualifying, the tires were the last thing on my mind, like 100%, so.
You said that you did lose one tire in pre-run though?
Yeah. So I think I told you this off air. A portion of the course takes you through this sandy wash, and just like any river wash, there are rocks that stick up out of it. And I just completely boneheaded and just drove the car straight through this thing that looked like a freaking dinosaur tooth sticking out of the river bottom. And it took out a sidewall instantaneously. And I didn't want anybody to second guess, so I actually stopped and took a picture of the rock just so I could I could show people no, seriously, this is what I hit. I mean, you might as well have been slicing meat on that rock, you know. So, no, after that, we never changed another tire on the car. So tire,
you and I had a conversation, but I'm not sure that I understood this. So you on 3 of those tires, you did all of the pre-run, all of the qualifying, and the race on 3 tires.
yeah, exactly.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's pretty awesome. And you only had to change the one that you cut in half.
And honestly, if I had, made that driver error that first day, yeah, I probably could have done every single thing on the 4 tires that I bolted on the car.
So you didn't lose one during the race?
Nope, didn't lose a single tire. My pit crew was so bummed because those guys, all they do is they sit in the desert for hours on end and wait for you to show up,
hoping to do something.
They want nothing more than to do something. And like, what is more pit crew-esque than like changing a flat tire, right? So every time we pulled in, they would, I have a guy specifically assigned to like looking at the tires. And every single time he gave me the thumbs up and, told the crew chief, like, tires are good,
There's a Nexen commercial.
Yeah.
There's a Nexen commercial right there,
Like-
Kevin. Like every time you roll into the pit, the guys are like, "Yeah, it's good," and they're all disappointed that the tires aren't flat. And then, like all day long. Next thing you know, the last time you come in, all of the pit crew sitting on their lawn chairs with a beer, and they just put their thumbs up without even looking at it. All right, Paul, I'll write the script. It's a new Nexen commercial.
Hey, so was your like as the race went on, was the confidence growing in the tires? Like you said, it became an afterthought. Like you weren't even worried about the tires anymore.
I mean, honestly, Jose, it started before the race because it's kind of that whole thing I talk about, like proving the car or proving the parts during pre-running. By the time I had pre-run 3 days, I honestly, like, we were having arguments about what tire pressure to race at, but we were not questioning the tires at all. We were trying to decide how low we could set the tire pressure before we would start losing tires, due to just low pressure.
Yeah.
What did you end up running them at?
We set all the cold tire pressures at 24 psi.
Yeah, that's what I run in the Ranger. I mean that seems about right.
Same as my race car.
So I'm super glad that worked out the way it did. I mean, and I think the fact that you didn't have to think about the tires is a testament to the tires, because I watched on Friday since I was in quarantine. I had the free feed going on here, and there was tires blowing up everywhere. It was a tire graveyard, and like the whole time, every time I saw someone rolling in with a tire, I was like, I hope that's not Kevin. Please let that not be Kevin.
Yeah, it was actually pretty cool to get the flat during pre-running, because my co-driver and I, we got out really excited and we're like, okay, let's try out our new, because I had made a mount for our electric impact, and we had a scissor jack mounted in the car. So we got to like practice our little, like, during the race flat tire change, and then we actually never did it for real. So it's a good thing. Those are really good problems to have. And to answer Jose's question, by the time the race came, tires were the last thing on my mind. So
did you run beast mode out or the machine mode out?
I'm definitely a machine guy.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Okay.
Because they look like Transformers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. See.
I'm much more of a geometric shape person than I am like, a curve and kind of guy. So
but they're claws. They're like Velociraptor claws.
Yeah. My daughters call them alligator.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you gonna use the alligator side?
All right. Well, next year you can run the beast mode out.
Well, you can
You
do
know
like
what
Or you do one side beast mode.
that's what Paul does. Paul on one side of
yeah,
Paul's
Paul
truck,
does, yeah.
on one side of his truck it's Beast, and the other side is the machine.
No, so what was funny was my dad. My dad is a rock star. Like he I think he hates working on the race car, but he just loves the thought that he can help me. So he would come over all the time, and he's like, "Okay, what do you want me to do today?" And I was like, "I need you to mount all these tires on these beetles." And he was so bummed, but I was like, I just need one guy to do it. I need the quality control to be there. I just need you to like just do them all and do them all exactly the same and make them perfect and get every beadlock bolt torqued. And I gave him kind of a class on like how I wanted them. And then when he was all done with all of them, I was like, dang, and you didn't even get a single one of them backwards. Like, I thought for sure, like, just accidentally one would be like B-side out.
Yeah.
He nailed it. He's like, oh, I was so worried that, he's like, I triple checked it every time.
The other thing is you had the MTX on the F250, right?
Yeah. So again, because of the late kind of transition there, the late connection with Nexen, the car was all apart, and the car wasn't going to be on its wheels until it was time to go in the race trailer and go down to Hammers. So I talked with Nexen about, well, honestly, like a better proof of concept is why don't we put them on my daily, my tow rig, the chase truck, and I can at least get familiar with mounting them and kind of what they feel like. And so yeah, I put a set on the F250, and I was driving on those for I don't know, a couple weeks leading up to Hammers.
I love the fact that the tires that towed the race truck down are the same tires that ran the race. I mean,
there's no like different compounds for the race. Like it's just
not in that class. It's right. The DOT. It's all DOT. Okay. So those all of the cars in that class are running off the shelf tires.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, and that's I mean exactly what you said. It's super cool that the exact same tire that tows the car down there is the same tire that I race on. I don't know what more could you say? Like it's a good combination.
If you had those on the F250 in Arizona, you might have been able to keep up, but we'll try next time. We better luck next time. So you finished the race. Where did you start the race? What starting point did you have, and where did you finish?
Yeah, so after that rollover, that was the night before qualifying. So any confidence I had for qualifying was completely shot, like 100%, gone. So after we fixed the car that night, I told my co-driver, I was like, hey, you can come if you want to, but I'm going to walk. Yeah, it was probably, I don't know, half a mile over to the qualifying course. But I told him, I said, I'm going to take a flashlight and I'm just going to walk over there and like retrace our steps. Like, I got to get this monkey off my back somehow. So he went with me and we spent probably an hour on that hillside trying to figure out what we did. It's nice that he lets me say we, like it was my fault, but tried to figure out what I did and what, I could not do the next day to make sure we didn't end up like that again. And so we went out to qualifying and I was just, man, I can't even think I've ever been so nervous in the car. And we ended up qualifying pretty good for, kind of cold turkey after that situation. So we ended up starting 38th out of 134 cars.
Damn.
Nice.
But the problem was when we got in the desert, which is all of lap one, we just got smoked. Like my car, no joke, no excuses. It's an early rock crawler with, race car number plates on it. So it doesn't do that well in the high speed desert. And the faster it gets and the rougher it gets, the more my rock crawler, suffers. So we got smoked pretty bad in the desert. And I was honestly getting pretty dejected about that because more cars were going by us than we were going by them. So as we finished lap one, I think we'd lost probably like 10 positions. And then we got into the rocks and just started doing our thing. Like, I mean, I feel really good in the rocks. My co-driver is we're so good together now. We speak the same language. We pre-ran every rock trail except for Jackhammer. So we knew all of our lines, and we just started hitting everything. And we had to make accommodations because, those big fast cars that blew by us in the desert were now, a mess in the rocks.
Yeah,
But,
they're now more roadblocks and obstacles,
yeah,
right?
yeah, for sure. So we just started picking them off, and I checked in at one point. I think we were sitting in a traffic jam, and I had good radio reception with actually Jason from Wheel and Wine and Whiskey, and I was like, "Hey man, how we doing?" And he kind of like, I don't know, he didn't understand my question or something like that, and I got really impatient, and I very clearly like cursed on the radio and just said, what effing position are we in? And he said we were in 25th, and like when he said that, I knew like, okay, we're still in the race.
Yeah,
like we can do this.
To be fair, he was probably balls deep in Old Elk.
Yeah. He was soft.
He's like, who this?
Yeah.
New radio.
Balls deep.
New radio,
Yeah.
who this?
In whiskey?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
whiskey.
So, then
I like to drink mine.
Am I doing it wrong?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
All right, you ask Jason, dude.
I gotta pay more attention to their podcast, I guess.
Well, I would think the whiskey glass would be a little bit wider than it is, but whatever.
Like a bucket.
Well, you know what Billy was saying in Rocklander, right? About the bucket. He's like, all of a sudden that hole's too small.
That's right. That's for a different use. You don't want to mix.
Yeah,
You don't want to mix that bucket with your whiskey bucket. Definitely don't.
We're gonna roll up to camp next time, and Kevin's just gonna have like 6 different Home Depot buckets out in front of his tent, and you're gonna have to pick which one.
Yeah.
Like you have
That's
to
right.
guess.
You got to have your Lowe's bucket for your whiskey bucket, so it's blue, and you just make sure you don't confuse them.
Yeah, you don't want to mix those up.
Or you do. I don't know. Whatever.
Whatever you're into, man.
All right, so you find yourself in 25th.
Yeah, so the update was we were in 25th, and we still had a lot of rock trails still to go, and a lot of tough miles. So I kind of felt reinvigorated, and like things were starting to go our way and favor our tenacity. So we just kept doing what we know how to do, and I honestly, when we got to the finish line, I had no idea what position we were in. I was just so happy. It is such a long day. I cannot describe to people what a long day it is. And when we got to the finish line, I was, at that moment, I didn't even care what position I was in. I was just so happy that it was over,
I mean, finishing the race itself is a major
just
accomplishment.
finishing, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what, like I'd kind of touched upon probably before, was like, I finished last year, and I didn't want to just keep going and keep finishing. I want to do better every year. And so my goal that I set for myself this year was top 10, and we ended up 11th in class with a 14th overall. So I fell 10 minutes short of getting 10th place. And you can always go back and Monday morning the thing and be like, we could have saved a couple minutes here and a couple minutes there. But you know what? Every racer on the racetrack has those feelings.
Yeah.
And has those. So everybody's race day is what it is. And, the chips fall where they fall. So,
Well, dude, so that's a pretty significant that you started at you rolled the car the night before, started at 38th and finished at 11th. That's a pretty significant accomplishment, man.
yeah, it felt really good. It felt good.
Where did you finish last year?
We got 19th in class, 26th overall last year.
Okay. So next year, so you came up by 8 this year. So next year you'll be what, second or third? You'll podium next year for sure. Mathematically speaking.
Yeah. Yeah, like I talked about, we got our butt kicked in the desert. No question in my mind, I'm building a new chassis this year. I can't continue to race my ancient rock crawler if I expect to get on the podium. So
How does that affect? Sorry to cut you off, but how does that affect your class? Would you still be able to race in the Legacy class, or would you have to go to a different class?
Yeah, no. The rules for Legends are front engine, solid front axle, single shock per corner, 2 seats, and 37-inch DOT tires.
Okay.
So what I'm basically talking about doing is stretching the wheelbase a couple of inches, making the car a couple inches wider at the chassis, but not at the axles, and then getting everything much, much lower in the car, getting our center of gravity a lot lower. My car is very tall and skinny right now. So I'm going to try and get it a lot lower, a lot more stable, add a front sway bar, and, probably do more shock tuning and stuff. And if we could get like 10, 15 miles an hour in the desert, I think we could get it done.
I mean, excuse my ignorance, but like, could you just do like a powertrain swap, like to the chassis you got now, or would it be like too much re-engineering?
No, it's a good question. A lot of people, when I was making the comment online that we need more speed in the desert, a lot of people misunderstood that as like I need more horsepower. And truth be told, in the desert, I'm only driving the car at like third throttle, maybe half. The terrain is just too rough. I can't keep the car straight.
Yeah, it's that whole. Have you seen? There's a video that shows it's like $4,000 suspension, and it's a truck driving through the desert, bouncing like this all over the place. And then the next video is $40,000 suspension, and it's the desert Baja running totally parallel all the way, and the tire going. I think that's. You're talking about stretching it out so you can hit that rough terrain at a much faster pace, right?
Yeah. I need to straddle the whoops a little bit better. We need the car not to pitch and yaw and buck as bad as it does. Because we end up in situations where I'm pulling the seat cushion up between my cheeks, and my co-driver, who's absolutely nuts, is over there just yelling like, "Yeah, buddy!" I'm just telling him, I'm like, "Dude, you don't know how close that was." He's like, it's a different perception. He's really comfortable going for a ride, but I know when I'm grabbing as much steering wheel as I can grab, and I'm trying to throttle out of mistakes, and the car barely pulls it off, that we don't have a lot of room to spare. So
are you? Go ahead.
I was gonna say I could push the car a little bit harder, but I think I'm just as likely to roll it and be out of the race. So,
are you gonna keep the basics of the frame that you have and just widen and stretch, or are you gonna build a whole new chassis?
I'm gonna build a whole new chassis. The guy that built my chassis just reached out to me recently, and he thinks he welded that chassis together in 2007. So, I mean,
that's a testament to his welding capabilities.
Yeah. In terms of race car life, that's pretty ridiculous. So, I'm going to use the engine, the transmission, the transfer case, the axle guts. I'll get new axle housings. I'll use the cooling system, and then all the little stuff, that radio system, the pumper, the winch, the seats, the belts, just try to recycle as much of that stuff as possible. But
hey, I know a guy that'll build that whole chassis for you for free. He's gonna have to live at your house.
He's gonna have to drop that restraining order.
Yeah, you're gonna have to let go of the restraining order so that he can come up there. I don't know.
Casey's a nice guy, but I don't know.
That's funny.
Great.
I think my co-driver is he's not quite ready to give up the seat yet.
No, I don't. Casey doesn't care about the seat. He'll just build it. He just wants to build it.
All right. Casey will just sit like a rumble seat, like in the back. Like
Casey,
old days. Something back there.
Casey would build the whole chassis, and then right underneath between the two seats, he'd build a hidden compartment, and he would climb in there, and they'd be on the middle of KOH, and he'd pop up. He's like, "What's up, bitches?" I for sure he would figure out a way to get himself into that car.
Yeah, he'll be the new helmet pumper.
Well, yeah, speaking of speaking of getting into the car, so when I was with you guys at Winter Expedition, I was trying to hit 2,000 followers, right?
Yeah.
And I wanted to do some ride giveaways. Well, right after I got home from Hammers, I hit 2,000. So right now I'm trying to figure out probably the legal side of giving people a ride in the car without, losing my house and
I'm
assets.
sure a good old handshake would suffice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You're not going to sue me, right? I just okay, get in.
So I'm working on that right now, but definitely coming up is going to be an opportunity for some people to get in the car.
That's awesome.
So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, that'll be very cool.
I'll just take riding in the truck. The truck seems pretty awesome in Arizona.
The truck's definitely more comfortable.
Well, let us know.
Shoehorning yourself into the race car is kind of brutal.
Let us know when that happens, and we want to be there to film that. I want to participate in that somehow.
Yeah, especially if you guys didn't come out to Hammers. I mean, we got to get you out there.
Yeah,
I think
let's not rub that in. That hurt. Not being there hurt.
Yeah.
How long do you think it's going to take you to build that chassis?
My plan is, so my last scheduled race this year is in August. So I would like to have most of it done by that race. That way after that race, I can take my car apart and start doing some of the final fitment.
And getting ready for Hammers.
Yeah, and then debut it at Hammers 2022. That's the goal. So
I'm thinking a really nice black and orange paint job. I mean, just to offset, be different. I don't know.
Money.
Are you buying the paint?
Yeah. Many times.
Money
I'll buy Krylon. I'll ship you a whole box of spray paint.
Rattle can that shit in orange and black.
Yeah, sure. After August, are you going to try to pre-run it anywhere, or I would assume you're going to want to do more than just drive it down to Hammers.
Yeah, it's so easy to say oh yeah, I'll get it all done. We'll have a bunch of testing under our belt. But the reality is, I'm sure it'll come down to the wire.
Yep.
That's just the reality of it. So I'm just gonna push as hard as I can and get it done, and we'll see what it looks like when that happens. So I look at a lot of these other racers, and I'm definitely jealous of whatever they've got going on, that they can work on their car every single day, because I don't get to do that. I have to, I get a couple days a week, I get a couple nights here and there, and then when it's crunch time, I just push everything else off my plate, and the honeydews pile up, and I go all race car. But throughout the year, I have to stay married, and I have to stay engaged with my
and I think that what's interesting is that there's almost like two King of Hammers events. There's the Shannon Campbell, Lauren Healy version of King of the Hammers with the corporate sponsorships and the 3 vehicles and
like a support truck.
The whole the NASCAR version of King of Hammers, right? Which I think is a small percentage of the people out there. And then the rest of it is the guys like you working all year, putting your own money into it, doing it for the love and battling your way through this whole event and sacrificing so much to get there. I don't know that there's anybody in between there. It seems like it's either one or the other.
Yeah, no, I feel like you're spot on. I mean, I've met, this year at Hammers, I probably knew twice as many racers as I did last year. And I really feel like that's 100% true. And those of us that truly fit the Everyman Challenge moniker, I feel a lot of us fit into that same box of, we've got day jobs, and we're just maxing out our credit cards in our garages trying to, live this dream.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's cool. And to the guys that have the money and the ability to do it at that next level, granola bars to them.
Yeah, for
But,
sure. Yeah, no, I'm not
or-
taking anything away from them, and I know like some of the story of Shannon Campbell and what he did to get there. Like it's not that they didn't earn that. It's just that it
I think perception is that it's that every guy racing out there has a full race truck. And like a whole team behind them, and like
I would think so. I would think that a lot of people just think, oh well, there's money in there. Yeah, there is, but it's the money that you guys are putting in yourself, not somebody else.
Yeah, no, I mean I take a ton of pride in the fact that my 2007 race car, every time it passes a car that costs six figures, I take a lot of joy in that, because I think it's a testament to how hard I work and to all the effort I put in, and the people that are behind me, and it's fun. It's fun to beat the big dollar guys. So
I bet. So going forward into the next race season, the rest of this race season are those Roadian MTXs going to stay on that truck?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Like, I feel like starting a challenge, like I should have written, the date I first put like the tire in the dirt or something, and just see how long I can leave it on the car. Or something. But, we're gonna race Ultra 4 West this year, which is Moab in Easter weekend, and then San Felipe in May, and then Sturgis, South Dakota in August. That's the West Series races this year, and I'm gonna see how many Roadians I can save for next year.
I think we can get you more for next year if you need them. I mean, go.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things. Like I'm used to stretching my dollars, so just because I have a tire sponsor this year doesn't mean
you don't intentionally rip them. Yeah. I love that. I like. You and I had some conversation about it, and we talk about those tires all the time, and we talk about them, about how much we love them and trust them, and how good they are, and how much they, how much we've beat on them and they've survived. And I think a lot of people might hear that and think, oh, we're just talking about it because they sponsor the show. No, they wouldn't be sponsors of the show if we didn't fully believe all of those things. And I love the fact that you took a chance on them and it worked out.
Well, and I would be a liar, Cody, if I didn't say I was one of those listeners that was like, oh, I'm sure those tires are so good. And I was like, well, of course you guys are going to rave about them. They're paying the show bills and they're putting them on your truck or whatever, but
are they paying the show bills?
Paul, where do I send the show bills, Paul? Please let me know where those go to. Kevin said you're paying from now on.
But I mean, I was that guy. I was that listener. You guys know I'm not just somebody that only listens to the episode I'm on. I listen to every episode of yours. And I was very, very doubtful, and I'm not too embarrassed to say that like I was wrong. Like they're good tires. So.
Well, no, just the fact that like you were saying earlier, like everyone has their tried and true formula and they don't stray away from it. The fact that, dude, the tires are like all that hard work that goes into the truck, the tires transfer all that hard work to the ground. Like that's like the one thing you don't want to change if you found something that works for you and you changed it last minute.
That was beautiful, Jose. You should write poetry.
That was a haiku.
Yeah, all that hard work
Hallmark
is transferred to the ground.
And I did, I did my due diligence, and I talked to the guys at True North Racing before I made the decision, and they were like, no, like seriously, like they're good tires, and I'm like, come on, you can tell me. And they were like, no, seriously, like they're good tires. So I have no doubts now. I'll be loyal to Nexen as long as they're loyal to me. So
But you had your doubts because they were Canadian. You're like, I don't know about these Canadians.
Do the tires spin differently up there? I don't understand.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like they swirls backwards. What's happening? No, those guys
What
are
was
cool.
that? What was that stuff they said they drive or race in?
Some kind of muck.
The muck.
uh,
I had to
A
look it
bog
up.
or something.
Yeah,
It's like-
muskeg.
Muskeg, yeah.
Muskeg.
Muskeg.
Mm.
We have
Some
a different
good
kind of
muskeg.
muskeg down here.
Well, look, man, I'm super happy that it went as well as it did, that everything worked out, that you and Paul got to connect, and I think there's really, really good opportunities for both of you there, and as long as that works out well to the benefit of both of you, I'm sure that relationship will keep going. We are huge fans of yours, and we love hanging out with you. We're hoping you join us on the next expedition, whatever that happens to be. And when you find your way back down this way to do any testing, you let us know. We'll come out and hang out, and we'll I'll see if you can keep up with the Ranger with the new chassis.
Yeah, we'll for sure on whatever that follower ride day thing looks like. I'll let you guys know, and then
Where do you think you're going to do that?
I gotta think Johnson Valley's the place to do it. But I mean, I'll try to. Maybe I could offer like 2 locations in case there's.
No, just do Johnson Valley. Come down. We'll do like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday deal.
Yeah.
We'll get the guys from Wheeling Wine and Whiskey. We'll go out and let's do it like after everybody's been vaccinated and the world. I don't know. Jose and I are pretty covered at this point. But we'll have.
Ideally in my head, what I'd really like to do is be able to take. Over the course of a weekend, maybe like a dozen people, obviously one at a time, but take them on a mini race course to where we bomb some desert and then we hit a couple rock trails and everybody gets, a loop.
Casey's gonna sabotage that drawing. Right?
Yeah. Well, you talk about bombing the desert. I would like to line up your car with the Frontier and the Ranger and see how we do, because based on the way you talk about it, I think Matt can outrun you in the desert.
Hey, what about the Land Cruiser? Is the Land Cruiser not fast enough?
No, fuck no.
Yeah.
Hey, because I'm only quarter throttle when I'm going across the desert in the Frontier, so I got a lot more.
Yeah. And then I hope if your guys' Mojave is Memorial Day weekend or something, Mallory and I, we had a blast with you guys at Winter Expedition. I really look forward to doing something like that in the future with you guys again.
Yep.
So.
We as of right now, I mean that's Mojave's kind of like a standing Memorial Day weekend. It's like our families know we're not going to be home that weekend. That's what we're doing. So unless something changes, that's the plan.
Yeah, right on. That sounds good.
All right, dude. Well, get back into your get back into your whiskey party and on a Monday night. I don't know what kind of life you live, but it's a school night for us. Get back into your whiskey party. Thank you so much for coming on, dude, and we are looking forward to hanging out with you again soon.
Right on. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Bye.
Thanks, man.
All right, dude. So let us know what's going on. Let us know what you got coming up and anything we can do to help or promote or assist. We're here to help.
Cool. Yeah, I got I reset the clock in the garage for Moab, so I think it says like 41 days. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to fit in beating on the car just to give people rides in between the races, but I got to make it happen. Like I said, I was going to do it, so we'll figure it out.
Like I said, I mean, in all seriousness, if you're going to do Johnson Valley, we figure it out, we coordinate, we go up there early on Friday, set up the orange room, quarantine an area, get all that set up. We would do all of the coordination, and then you just show up with the truck. You know what I mean? So it's not like we could help facilitate that.
Yeah, no, I'm just mostly worried about like when is the car assembled? And when can it tolerate abuse and not cut into
races?
It needs to be for racing.
Yeah.
But we'll figure it out. Like I mean, honestly, right now it could go out and do King of the Hammers again. So, but I can't take that chance. I have to get it ready for Moab. But
Yeah.
the car's, I mean, the car is ugly and dirty, but I mean, it's running like a top. So,
Awesome.
yeah, I'll figure it out. We'll fit it in. I you know, there's going to be some of that coordination too. Of I'd love it if Nexen. So I talked about like the liability side. I think some sponsors are going to be all over it, and they'll kick in, even if it's just swag or maybe like $100 for fuel or something for me. But I think some sponsors are legitimately going to be worried about the legal liability side if somebody got hurt.
Yeah, well, you can. Don't tell my wife, but I was supposed to make all of you guys at Winter Expedition sign a waiver, and I forgot to do that. But yeah, you can download waivers that basically indemnify you, and you know you're covered. You're choosing to do this. You're dumb for getting in the car. Sign here.
Right. Yeah. My wife's sister is a lawyer.
There you go. That's right.
Of course, she's always like, yeah, stuff like that's not even worth the paper it's written on. But I mean, you got to do something.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So.
Well, then you put them on video and say, you're going to die, right? You know you're going to die. If you die, it's not my fault.
Yeah. I'd rather record afterwards and be like, but did you die?
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, we'll figure it out. I'll certainly stay in touch. You guys are an incredible resource to me, so I appreciate that.
All right, man. Let us know what you need, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Okay.
All right,
bro.
Guys.
Bye.
Later, man.
All right. Later, Kev.
All right. We've got a voicemail, and we have two emails, and I don't think we have a voicemail. Hold on, let me check.
We don't have any new reviews.
No new reviews? Dag, Blurn.
Hey, dude, we're at 1.01K subscribers now on
What?
YouTube.
No.
I don't know what that translates to.
I don't know what that
What
means.
is
That
100?
means
That's 1010.
1001? 1010.
yeah, 1.1. Yeah.
Yeah, 1010.
Yeah.
Cool. We're big
It-
ballers now.
It means we can retire. I was gonna.
Cool. Starting tomorrow.
No more work. I actually like my job, so I won't retire yet.
Look at you.
Stark difference, right? From from a year ago. We do have a voicemail. Okay, so we have a long voicemail. Well, it's not that long. We have a long voicemail and two emails. All right. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Okay.
No, I have nothing.
Okay. That's what I expected.
Just being consistent.
Meeting expectations, Matt.
You have any Steve Garvey facts you want to just throw out there?
He was a 6-time All-Star, 2-time All-Star MVP, Gold Glove winner, I think 4 times.
Okay, that's enough facts. Thank you.
Okay, you asked.
All right, you guys ready? Okay, here we go. All right, thanks to Kevin for joining us. Again, I'm super stoked that the Nexen thing worked out for him, and that's like I wasn't joking. Like the idea that the tires he towed his vehicle down are the same tires he ran King of Hammers. That's a serious vote of confidence for those things, at least in my mind.
I don't know what.
You know what?
Oh, go ahead, Matt.
I was just gonna say it is. We've been touting the tires for almost 2 years now, right? That we've been running them, and it does feel like his performance in KOH with him validates at least our opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Because it could have been horrible. What if he just had
like 4
just
blowouts?
nothing? He's running on rims, and he's got to go send somebody to town to buy some tires. Or something, That would have been the worst. But to have him run them, number one, is awesome, and then to put that put them to the test, and maybe you'll see more people running them next year.
That's
you know?
exactly what I was about to say. I'm like, dude, people have to have been like Nexen tire, like what is that? And then they see that he finished 11th. They're gonna check the specs on his car, and they're gonna look into these. There has to be at least one person that's gonna do that, right? I mean, I would assume.
Yeah, and I've got a couple screenshots of him. I mean, he had the Nexen Tire logo on the side of his truck. I got a couple screenshots on him from the free feed. Like, it was a pretty good shot of the side of the truck with the Nexen logo on it. So.
I was gonna say he could have finished better if he had beast mode out.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think machine mode's the right way to go. It's you got to be machine. It's methodical. You got to be smart. You can't just be all crazy.
Your opinion's pretty questionable.
You're not wrong there. All right, we got a couple. We have another thing to get to too. So we have a couple emails. First one is from John Gamble, and it says, I hope Tammy's up in recovery mode. She is. Thank you for asking. She's actually back to close to normal. I came across this and thought of you, and it's a link to a trailer website. It said, although you probably didn't need another website to waste time on, keep up the good work on the shows, and you should see if you can get Terry Madden back on now that Hammers is done. Oh, and next Wednesday, a new rover is landing on Mars. There's going to be some awesome footage on this landing, as they have some extra cameras on the descent craft. You should be able to get the feed off the NASA page or Spaceflight Now. Take care, man. John. Very cool. I'm going to check out this trailer website right now, and very cool that there's...
I'd be weary of links listeners send you.
Well, he knows that I've been going. He knows that.
Yeah, Mars.
Yeah, no. This is actually a link to Patriot campers, which I'm familiar with Patriot campers because I know I can't afford a Patriot camper. These are not cheap campers.
Doesn't Brad have one?
Yeah, he actually just got a new one. Like a special.
They're super, super nice, but they are not podcast budget friendly. That's for sure.
Let's just say you can buy a off-roading rig for what you would pay.
Yeah,
like a new one for what you would pay for the trailer.
Yeah, but I mean, it's one of those things like we've talked about having everything dialed in. That's turnkey dialed in.
True,
but I don't have the funds to do that. Thanks for the email, John. Next one is from Tommy Harrell, and it says, Cody, I'm a fairly new listener, and I really enjoy the show, and I'm thinking about trying overlanding. Listening to episode 162, can you really do the Mojave Road in your wife's stock Durango? And I would say, yeah. It's an all-wheel drive Durango, and
just change the tires to some all-terrain.
I mean she's just got like low profile.
It's just the sand on the west end.
Yeah,
that I would be concerned with.
But
everything else,
knowing that sand is coming up, you put your foot into it. That thing's got a V8 in it. Yeah. That thing will move, right? So I really do believe that I could do the Mojave and the Durango. He said, "Is Laughlin as bad as it sounds?" Define bad.
Laughlin.
If you're Matt, it's your people. If it depends.
Yeah. Picture. Cody, there's an In-N-Out in Laughlin.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
Just imagine if Las Vegas ran out of money in 1945, but didn't shut down. That's Laughlin. That's essentially what it's like.
It is a very old, low-budget Vegas.
Yeah.
But it has the river going through it. That's pretty cool.
It's the Walmart. It's the Walmart of desert resorts, is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. There's my family's been going there since I was a teenager, so over 30 some odd years. So there's just a lot of weird memories. I mean, your cousin got married right outside the frontier.
I know. So, and we had a great time. I had a blast.
Yeah.
Two of my cousins got married in Laughlin, by the way. One before you came around.
My mom was married in Laughlin. My sister was married in Laughlin. Hey, it's a place known for love.
It is a love fest from $12.99. So he says he's looking forward to hearing.
Cheap love.
He's looking forward to hearing about our upcoming trip in May. He says, I'm thinking about doing the Mojave Road late October 21 in my JK with a buddy in a Tacoma. This will be the first desert long-distance overland adventure. Laughlin is almost 1,500 miles away one way. And I'm trying to plan and prepare as much as possible. Reading the Mojave Road Guide and making a list of everything problematic with my JK. He needs a re-gear, wind noise, doesn't take gas, lack of interior space, not enough light bars, and angry eyes. Thanks, Tommy. And he sends a picture of his JK, which I wish I could show you guys. Well, I guess I can put it up here. It's essentially a JK with a flatbed back end, flatbed body. It's pretty badass. It's here. I'll put it up.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. So if you're watching the live feed or
I see it.
Yeah. So it's pretty badass, and he's somewhere where there's snow. That's why it's 1,500 miles away
You
from.
just gave Tim more ideas now. That
Yeah. Hey,
that he's
there you
gonna
go,
have to
Kilmer.
do.
So Kilmer, but here's what he would have to do. So Kilmer would have to do this. And instead of the flatbed, he'd have to take the back end of a short bus and put it on his Jeep to fit all of his kids, because he's got 16 kids. So put one of those put the back end of a bus on there. That's all I'm saying.
So my comment. Who was the guy that sent the email? Was his name Joe?
No, that was Tommy.
Tommy, would you drive 1,500 miles to do the Mojave Trail? And if you did, I guess you'd have to do it a lot slower. Like, you would milk the shit out of that, right? That's the way.
Yeah, I think the road to the Mojave is probably more rigorous than the actual Mojave Trail.
But it's beautiful. The scenery, the being out there in the desert.
It is.
And Tommy, if and when you decide you want to do the Mojave Trail, hit me up. I've got 15 different maps and all the points of interest and all the locations. It's I can set you up with all the GPS coordinates
there's
you
an
need.
actual more to the trail, right?
Yeah.
There's
I've got 2 books on the Mojave. Yeah,
The
we just
Eastern Heritage or whatever.
And there's the mountains, and there's all kinds of different stuff. But when the way we do it with the gas that we have and the amount of people we have, we've just been doing the same trip. We can change it up.
I was gonna throw it out there. Maybe we should do other sections of the trail.
I'm down.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
Feel free to plan it.
Plan it out, Jose.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm not gonna stop you. And then Tim Kilmer, are you still in the chat room, Tim? Is Tim still in there?
He was.
He is.
He is.
Yeah.
Tim, F you hard. Tim submitted his first blog post for the Trail Chasers website, and I hadn't gotten to reading it until just now. And it is 15 off-road related podcasts that are pretty okay. And you want to know what's interesting about this list? We're not on it. What a jerk.
Man.
What a jerk face for Tim.
I wouldn't expect anything less.
Like
Tim.
that.
Hey, and we're not saying he's not honest. Like, maybe we just didn't make that list. We gotta work harder.
Yeah.
Guys?
So I'm still gonna post it. It's still gonna get posted. But he's got the 4x4 podcast, America's Off-Road.
Don't pay him. Don't pay
No,
him.
he's not getting paid for
Don't
this
send
one.
him the- yeah,
He's
the
not
letter
getting his
fee.
royalty checks on this one. America's Off-Road podcast, Conversations with Big Rich. I don't even know who this one is. Who is this one here?
It would be funny if there was podcasts that don't even have anything to do with off-roading.
Yeah.
And we still didn't even make
Yeah.
the 15 most okayest off-road.
He's got Jeep Talk Show.
He's got Joe Rogan on there.
Mike and Max's Off-Road podcast, the New Legend podcast, Northwest Jeepcast, the Off-Road podcast. What is this one? The Metal Cloak, MJ something. Oh, Modern Jeeper. Overland Journal podcast, Bent Motorsports, Snail Trail, Total Off-Road podcast, Wheeling Wine and Whiskey, High Sierra 4x4. But again, no Trail Chaser podcast. So
That last one, it's not even a podcast. Like, there hasn't been a new episode published in over a
High
year.
Sierra, yeah, you're right. It's been out it's been gone for a long time. So Tim, just to show that we're going to be fair, we'll still post this, but I don't know that we're going to be accepting submissions from you in the future. Based on your,
just send them to me. I'll
the
post them
quality, based on the quality of your reporting, is what I'm saying.
He's gonna. Here's a list of all the tires I've used in my life and review of tires, and then not mention Nexans.
Yeah.
Or you know. But maybe that's a good thing.
How about
who says his opinion's worth anything?
How about the 15 things to do with your Jeep because you can't get it out of the driveway? Use it for a planter. Put water in it. Those kinds of things. So
maybe take put some foam around some of the bars and stuff. It could be like a jungle gym for your kids.
Oh yeah, parkour.
You could have a slide come off, like maybe the hood and then down around the backside, you know. I got some ideas. You put some of the rubber mats around it so kids don't get hurt.
Yep.
Safety's important. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay, and then we have a voicemail from I think it's from Allie. Hold on. Let's see. Ready? Go.
Hey, so it's Allie from Canada again. Just thought I'd give you another voicemail, a little update on the trailer. Super stoked. I got my stickers. Well, an envelope. I assume my stickers are in it. I didn't open it yet. God knows what's in there. Probably stickers, so why would there be anything besides stickers? Anyway, the trailer update. So I've got 5 jacks. I'm going to put one on each corner. I got to have those welded on. I've also got to put some fenders on. I thought it would be really cool to run the trailer open-tired. It looks really cool. But the reality is, last summer when I had it out, it gets dirt fucking everywhere. I mean, everywhere. Inside the coolers, inside boxes, inside everything. It's not as cool as I thought it would be. So I got to get some fenders on it. And then I got to buy that rooftop tent. I've got the box. I was going to make it, but I'm no carpenter. So I actually hired a cabinet maker who's going to make the box for me with the slides and everything. And I'm just going to wire it up and all that good stuff. So a little bit of progress, nothing major. Hopefully soon I'll be able to have some pictures and more detail on it. Yeah, so keep up the great work. You guys are awesome. I laughed my ass off on the way home when I listened to your podcast. So very, very entertaining. Keep it up, guys.
All right, thanks, Allie. I can't wait to see that thing done. I'm looking forward to the final product when he gets it all dialed in, and I could imagine, especially living up there in Canada, having open tires would just spit shit everywhere, like
salt.
Funk and muskeg.
Muskeg, yeah.
Muskeg everywhere. You don't want muskeg in your box, man. That's just it's so hard to get out, right? I mean, think about it. That's what he was saying. It was like, he's gonna have someone build the box so it keeps the stuff out.
Okay.
So that seems like it takes more than a handful to wash that off. I don't know what to do. We don't have any. You said, Jose, we don't have any new reviews or anything.
No.
Anything? Have you guys seen anything additional on the Frontier or Pathfinder since last week when we talked about it?
Nah, I keep checking, but it's still like the same articles and stuff that were published last week.
Okay.
I don't know, man. I think they're missing the boat by like holding off like till summer, like for more info. I mean, I don't know what else.
Well, I mean, that's become standard. The TRX, the Bronco, they did the same thing. Big old splashy announcement, and then not a whole lot of information for months. You know,
that's true.
So I did see it. I did see it wasn't the TRX because I don't think it's available. It was a Rebel. I think the Dodge Rebel full size. And I was like, oh man, that is a nice truck.
Those are nice trucks, man.
Yeah.
TFL put a video out saying that their dealers are marking up the T-Rex $50K over.
50?
50.
Man.
Dude,
a base is like 80 grand.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Tag Blurn Sassafras. That's
I saw a guy on YouTube jump his like over a wash.
He messed it up, right?
Huh?
He messed it up. It got all messed up, right?
Dude, he jumped it like 80 feet. He jumped the shit out of it.
And then he got another one.
Did it broke?
Yeah, he fucked it up.
I mean, that guy got some YouTube love, I guess. Maybe he got paid for YouTube.
No,
Hopefully,
I think he's a big YouTuber already. He's a big.
Is he?
Yeah.
Because he had another fancy, like he had a Raptor, and like it looked like he had some money. So I don't know if that's what it takes to get some YouTube money, I'll start jumping the frontier next week, and then that'll spur me into. I'll just start buying shit and jumping shit. I'll do it.
Will
like
you?
Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah,
like Dukes of Hazzard. I'll hit
will.
the horn and everything.
I bet you will. I won't.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it. I need to drive my truck to work on Monday.
Not if you got YouTube money.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, true.
You'll start getting free
Yeah.
cars and stuff.
I don't have, we don't have any YouTube money or podcast money or
Matt,
money in general.
Matt, jump this.
Okay.
I'll jump Jose's cruiser.
Yeah, like you could get enough speed to jump the cruiser. you could
Well,
drop the cruiser off of
some-
a cliff.
It'll take some research. We'll have to find a downhill.
Yeah, we'd have
like
to find a big
one.
hill. A big
And
hill.
then,
You have to go to an Olympic ski jump to get that thing enough speed to get off the ground.
We'll have to build a giant ramp made out of like something super strong because that thing's probably a tank. But yeah, I'll jump it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's
Let's
do
do
it.
it.
All right, what else? Anything else exciting going on in the world of off-road stuff?
No. I just need that Frontier to come. That way I can look at it in person.
All right. Okay.
Oh man.
So Jose and I have had some offline conversation about potentially vehicle purchases in the next 3
Too many
months.
damn options, dude. There's too many options.
Yeah, but I mean that's not a bad thing.
No, there's not, because they're not all 4-wheel drive options, right? Like they're cars in my options too.
Yeah, but that's dumb. That's just a bad decision on your part. I mean, look, if you want to go Honda CRX from 1989 to relive your high school years, that's cool. You do that, but
It's a Civic Type R, not a CRX.
seriously, it's the same car.
No.
It's the same car.
No, the Type R has a bigger wing.
All right, Fast and Furious.
Yep.
But I mean, what do you want? Do you want a commuter? Do you want a truck? Do you want an SUV?
That's the thing. I kind of wanted to do everything, and there's no car.
There's no car that does
know.
that except for the Ford Ranger.
No, I thought you were gonna say the Frontier. No, but I really want to see like a Frontier in person because I feel like once I do see it, I'm gonna sign on the dotted line. And then first thing I would do to it is time swap that thing, dude.
Yeah.
Get those YouTube clicks.
Yeah, YouTube clicks. Yeah, I honestly, if you show up at if you show up at a Nissan dealership,
I live by one. Like
if you show up at a
mile
Nissan
away.
dealership, if you sit your butt in the seat of a Frontier, you are going to buy it.
It's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's over.
Because think about it, you're going from a 1978 Toyota Land Cruiser with a JBL boombox as your stereo system.
Look, at this point, anything's a win.
That's
for
what I'm
me.
saying. You're gonna sit in there and you're gonna think it's built by NASA. You're gonna be like, "This
I'm
could this
like,
take me
wait.
to Mars?"
I'm like,
Did
wait,
you
it has
see,
CarPlay?
I did see something this week about Nissan negotiating with Apple, I guess, about self-driving programs or like they were going to coordinate together on, creating a self-driving car or something like that. But it wasn't, it never came to fruition, I guess. But that'd be, I get, if you were going to entrust somebody to create like a self-driving car, it'd be Apple or I guess Microsoft,
Well,
right?
I don't know about
No,
Apple, dude. Their
Tesla.
Apple
Or
Maps
Google.
was
Yeah,
a pretty.
yeah. Apple Maps killed like 12 people when it first came out. Prior to the first
They had the
software
bugs
update,
out.
there were a bunch of dead people for sure.
Now it works great, but year one was
Yeah.
not so great.
And people are dumb enough to do whatever Apple tells them to do.
Yes,
So
That's me. Please help me, Apple. But it's like that.
I am on that island too, man.
yeah, I
so.
know.
Yeah, it's like that the Office episode where Michael Scott drives into the
Yes,
lake
yes.
because it's telling him turn right now. And Dwight's yelling at him, "What are you doing?" And he just That's how that would be me. Like, Apple told me to. Maybe there's a shortcut. I don't know.
Did you guys see that Mitsubishi is debuting a new Outlander tomorrow?
That's cool.
No.
Going to the
Are they still making cars? They were just doing TVs these days.
You know what's funny is I
They make
didn't.
TVs.
What?
They make TVs?
Dude, they make everything.
Okay.
Mitsubishi
Yeah.
makes everything.
Well, they made
Air
Japanese Zeros
conditioners.
back in the day.
Yeah,
too.
air conditioners. Yeah. But the
I probably know them more myself because their little mini splits,
duck
their little
freeze.
air conditioners.
yeah. Once you get into the air conditioning industry, those are kind of things you learn. So Tammy had a Mitsubishi Outlander when we first got together. So this was 2010-ish. So, and that was a fun little car. And I often thought, like, if that was 4-wheel drive, it could be an adventure vehicle.
Yeah, dude, but no. I'm not gonna spend my opportunity at a new car on a crossover. So
Yeah, isn't Mud Raider? He's a Mitsubishi guy. He's not on tonight,
I don't think so.
but he's a Montero person, right?
Yeah.
Does he have a
Yeah, I
Mitsubishi
think so.
Montero. Okay.
Yeah. I'm just interested to,
Shut-
like you said, I didn't even realize they still made the car. I remember liking her car, but I don't know. I don't know what this one's going to be all about. Could be cool. So no crossover,
no RAV4, no
Renegade.
no Renegade. But the new Pathfinder is pretty cool though.
Yeah, the new.
But
Yeah.
But it's it wouldn't meet the needs of our needs here.
Truck? You want a truck or an SUV? Why is the Bronco not on this list?
Because it's a Ford.
But it's not the F-150, and that was a long time ago. I think you need to get over it.
No, and then do you still have your reservation in?
Yeah,
You do?
yeah.
Oh, I canceled mine.
Did you already?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, dude.
no.
And dude, I'm dumb because apparently you could sell those things.
The reservation?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
But anyways, no SUV. It's like I don't want another SUV because I have the Cruiser already. But
So you're going to keep the Cruiser?
yeah. So that's why like another 4-wheel drive vehicle or other options are on the table, not just 4-wheel drive.
Yeah, but you don't have a truck, so you could
But
get.
I don't have a truck.
You could get the Pathfinder. I mean, I'm sorry. You can get the Frontier,
Yes.
and have a truck as your
Yes.
daily
Yes.
and long haul off roader, like overland off roader, and the Cruiser your weekend bomber.
And that's
And-
more the direction I'm leaning.
And we take the
towards.
Cruiser and we gut it. We gut it. We put a roll cage in
Put
it.
a radio
and
in
we
it?
KOH that shit.
Oh, dude, it would never finish, bro. The desert in the desert section,
You don't have to go fast.
dude. Kevin Jones is getting passed by on the. and he
Yeah,
has
but
like a,
but he was trying to win. We were just
We're just trying to.
we're just trying
finish.
to do it. Yeah, we'll take turns in it and follow the course in the Cruiser.
Yeah, like Adam said, we'd have to LS swap that thing, dude.
Then you can't run it in the Everyman at that point.
You can. It has to be stock
Yeah,
drivetrain.
yeah.
Dude, but on what? On
Well, on so no, if you're running the stock class, yes, it has to be. I'm thinking stock class because you don't have to spend as much money.
dude, if we enter the Everyman Challenge in the Cruiser, we're going nowhere fast. So
Well, I tried to convince Tammy the other day that I could get a Bronco and then we would two body the Ranger and race that in KOH, and it didn't go over quite as well
I'm
as I had
sure
hoped. It didn't quite hit. I did my best as best as possible to sell her on how cool it would be, and for some reason she didn't have the same level of enthusiasm as I did.
I mean, because there is a stock class, right? Like
Yeah.
30. Like what's I
The
don't even know.
4600 class.
Okay, so
Stock motor, stock drivetrain, one dot tires, one shock at each corner, and I think only off the shelf suspension.
we'll see.
The only thing that the Ranger would be contributing to KOH is the hill that it died on, and then it would be forever known as Ranger Hill or something like that. And it would just be part of the course. People would just, for decades, just run over
I
it.
couldn't go to KOH anymore because I have to watch people drive over my wreckage every year.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that'd be awesome. That would be awesome.
Yeah, look at Adams in the
Yeah.
chat room. Let's do it, guys.
Yeah,
I don't
between him
I don't see you offering up the Gladiator.
Between him and Casey, they're already like blueprinting out
Yeah.
how the truck is going to be built.
Yeah. So we'll see. I don't see us finding our way to KOH anytime soon unless Jose buys a replacement for the Cruiser. All right, guys. Well, that's all we got for the night. Thank you guys so much for joining us in the chat room, and thank you for those that sent in emails and voicemail 951-394-DIRT. If you want to leave us a voicemail, thetrailchasers@gmail. Can you give us that what?
Tim says you wouldn't want to trash the desert with it, so they'd have to pick it up and drag it back out every year.
If the Ranger died on the hill.
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
John
I'll
said
help.
limp mode Ranger Hill.
F all of you. F all of you. Limp mode only happened once.
I can just see how it happens. Like you lose your turbo.
3 out of 4 men get it, okay? Perfectly normal.
This never happens to me, I promise. This is the first time this has ever happened. Oh, good night. That's funny. Limp mode. You guys suck. I'm only 47. Not there yet. Tim says Limp Modinus, Cody's middle name. Limp Mode is Cody's middle name. All right, Casey, you logged in right after we offered your services to Kevin, and we almost had him convinced to let you move in and build a new chassis. So that you'll have to follow up on that one. Thanks everybody else in the chat room for joining us on the show. Love to have you guys here and talk about it. And if and when the Kevin thing is going to actually happen in Johnson Valley, we'll let you know. I would love to do that. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Cool 3-4 day weekend. Be really cool. So
Seems like it'd be next fall though.
Well, that's what he's
concerned about squeezing it. It sounds like a Kessel run.
Yeah, that's what
Oh yes, that's actually a
Wouldn't
real,
that perfect.
Well, I don't know. He just said it doesn't go very fast in the desert. I think we can beat him in the desert.
Compared to other Ultra 4 cars.
Hey, you're like a Red Bull truck out there. Like...
Exactly. Compared to Gravedigger? Like, come on, man. I think that would be amazing. Like, if you can get a lap to the lava tubes or something and back. I don't know.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty rad.
All right, we'll figure something out.
Chasing down the frontier.
Yeah.
Trying
Frontier
to keep up with it.
It'd be like the chase car.
The chase car.
Yeah, picking up my cooler every time it comes flying out.
Matt's on the radio. Hey, Kevin, when you swing by, will you pick that up? All right, guys, we're going to end the stream, do our thing. Have a great night. We will talk to you guys later.
Thanks, guys.